In SSCE exams, be it WASSCE or NECO, you will be presented with 4 to 5 essay questions from which you are to choose just one. Each question will reflect a type of writing. In this video, we shall be discussing types of writing through which candidates are tested. These types of writings include letter writing, argumentative writing, narrative writing, descriptive writing, the article writing, imaginative writing, and of course, speech writing. So this video will be divided into part 1, 2, and 3. But if you are not a candidate, you still need to be part of this video because forms of writing, especially letter writing, is a skill which you will find useful all through your life. If you are a candidate, subscribe now and make sure to turn on your notification button so that you won't miss out on any parts. I am Glory Jonathan, your favorite teacher. What is a letter? A letter is a message that is written down on paper and usually put in an envelope and sent to somebody. There are basically two types of letter writing: formal letter and informal letter. What is a formal letter? A formal letter is a letter that has an official, agreed pattern. You need not know the person you are writing to, nor have any relationship with him. Who do we write formal letter to? We write formal letter to a government agency, a political office holder, a newspaper editor, or any letter for employment. What are features of the formal letter? The features of the formal letter are address of writer and date, designation and full address of the receiver, salutation, title, the body of the letter, subscript or closing, signature, full name. So in this practice session, we will pick all the features of the formal letter and talk about them one after the other. So let's begin. So number one feature of the formal letter is the address of the writer and date. Looking at your screen, you can see we have two addresses. Either of the address you choose to write is correct. Now let's analyze the differences between the two addresses. The first address has an open format, while the second address has a closed format. What makes it open and closed? If you look at the first address, you see that there is no comma, as in 3 Olorukemi Street, no comma, Bariga, no comma, Lagos, no comma, compared to the second address, 3 Olorukemi Street, comma, Bariga, comma, Lagos, comma. So the second address is known as the closed format, while the first address is known as the open format. If you choose the closed format, make sure you always put full stop at the end of the state. Now, another one is that the first one has a block format of writing, while the second one has a slanted format. Yes, because from number 3 of the first address to the 11th of January, you can see that you can make a straight line. You can rule a straight line from number 3 to 11. But in the second one, you cannot draw a straight line from 3 to January. You can see how slanted it is. So either of these is correct. It's either you use the block format or you use the slanted format. But do not mix them up. Yes, because it won't be an ideal way of writing. And looking at the date also, you can see that the first address has 11th January, 2025, while the second is January 11th, 2025. So either of these address is correct, but do not put full stop at the end of the year. Is not. So the second feature of the formal letter is the address of the receiver, written immediately after the date. It could take an open or close format, block or slanted format, as we have discussed earlier. So this is how it should look like. You can see the writer's address at the top right corner of the page, followed by the receiver's address written immediately after the date. Then what else you see there is the salutation. The salutation is written immediately after the receiver's address, and the accepted format is Dear Sir or Dear Madam. Then do not forget to put comma as well. The next thing there is the title. A brief title of the letter usually follows immediately after the salutation on the line below it. Though brief, the title should be able to tell what the letter is about. On your screen, you can see that the title of this letter is Poor State of Roads in Ijaye Local Government Area. Okay, let's analyze this letter on the screen. This letter has the writer's address. It has the date, but the date is it shouldn't have been joined together with the address. The writer of this letter should have skipped at least one line before writing the date, which is 7th June 2019, and also he has missed a comma. There should have been a comma in June before 2019. Now, this letter has the receiver's address, which is a customer service main rail, part house, SLX 1RT. That's the receiver's address. The letter has a salutation, which is Dear Sir or Madam. There is no comma there. Now, what I notice here, this writer uses an open format of writing, open and block format. There is no comma in the address, and you can see that there is no full stop at the end of the state. Now, it has a salutation, but there is no comma. So immediately after the salutation, there should have been a title of the letter. So this letter too does not have a title. The title should have been Poor Customer Service in Main Rail, or just Poor Customer Service. But but this letter lacks a title. Now, one thing about this letter that I like so much is the paragraphing, the way the paragraphs are written. I like it so much. Now, immediately after the title, there should have been the body of the letter. So here we can see the body of the letter that begins with I am writing. So the body of the letter should have about 5 to 6 paragraphs, depending on the amount of words you are asked to write. Yes, depending on the amount of words, and also depending on what you are asked to write. Then also the opening paragraph should introduce your writing by relating it to the topic you are about to discuss. So in this letter, we can see the opening paragraph relates to the topic, although it does not have topic or title. The letter does not have a title. So we can see the opening paragraph which says, I am writing to complain about the poor service provided by your train company. Yes, so with this opening paragraph, one can easily see that this letter is a letter of complaint. Then we have second paragraphs, third paragraphs, fourth paragraphs. Then how should you really organize your writing? You should have a good knowledge of what you are discussing. Where your point of view is required, you should do so convincingly. Where the topic demands more than one point of view, you should endeavor to give it a balanced treatment. Your point of view should be properly articulated and expressed. The language should be clear and register formal. You should not use slang or contracted forms. Yes, avoid slangs and contracted forms in formal letters. There should be a judicious mixture of long and short sentences with appropriate vocabulary that should be able to convey your views and thoughts. Yes, so I would like you to go through this letter once again and try to see, study it very well, study the paragraphs and try to see how you can do better in your own letter writing. Now, immediately after the body of the letter follows the subscript or closing. So what is the subscript or closing in this letter? The subscript is yours faithfully. Yours faithfully, the Y in yours must be in capital letter, while the F in faithfully must be in small letter. When your Y and your F are all capital letter, it is not acceptable. It is not accepted at all. If both Y and F in yours faithfully is all in small letter, it is not accepted. Now, your Y in yours should be in capital letter and your F in faithfully should be in small letter. That is the accepted form. Now, immediately after your closing or subscript follows your signature. This letter lacks signature as well. There is no signature. So there should have been a signature followed by the full name of the writer. Yes. Informal letter is a personal or private letter. It is a letter you write to a friend, brother, sister, parent, uncle, or any close acquaintance discussing a personal, private, or an intimate affair. There is some familiarity and intimacy, and the language is relaxed, sometimes it's chatty. Informal letter writing is a favorite of candidates in SSCE, essay or letter writing section. What distinguishes letter writing from other types of writing is usually referred to as formal features. So the informal features the features of the formal letters are the address of the writer, the date, the salutation, the body of the letter, subscript or closing, and signature. Okay, so here is an informal letter. From here we can see all the features of informal letter. It has the writer's address and the date. And we can see this very one, the date is written correctly, March 11, then the year. Now we see the salutation. As we said earlier, the informal letter has the writer's address and date. It has the salutation. So the salutation here is Dear Jane, So in informal letter, the name is known. Okay. Now, after the salutation comes the body of the letter right away. So the paragraphs depends on the amount of words you are asked to write. So you can make your paragraph to be 5, to be 6, as the case may be. Now let's look at the opening paragraph of this letter. The opening paragraph says, "When I got home from school yesterday afternoon, the first thing I saw was your letter. I was happy. I dropped my books and read it right away." Now this first paragraph shows the level of intimacy that the writer is having with Jane. It shows that they are friends, okay? And the writer used a simple language to express herself. Now, after the opening paragraph comes subsequent paragraphs. Now, these subsequent paragraphs should discuss the subject matter. We can see in the second paragraph, the writer right away discuss the reason why she writes the letter, or the reason why she wrote the letter to Jane. Now the reason is that Jane is sick. And okay, let's read the second paragraph. "I am sorry to learn that you have been sick. Take good care of yourself and guard against a relapse." So the writer did not know that her friend is sick. So that is the reason she is writing the letter. And in the subsequent letter, she wished Jane, her friend, a quick recovery. So from this letter, we can see that contracted forms are accepted. Like in the second paragraph, we see "I'm sorry." Yes, that's the "am" is in contracted form. Not "I am," but "I'm sorry." So that shows that the letter is informal. So we can use other contracted forms like I had, like, I won't, all those. And while writing informal letter, we should make the tone to be conversational. The tone should be chatty and conversational. And then after all the paragraphs, the next thing we see there is the subscript or closing. So the subscript here is not like that of a formal letter, which is yours faithfully. The subscript of informal letter here in this letter is lovingly. Sometimes you can write yours sincerely. Yes, when you mention the name of the person you are writing to, the concluding should be yours sincerely. In informal letter, we have varieties of them. We have your beloved, your loving daughter, So, as the case may be, the yours must be in, the Y in yours must be in capital letter if you choose to use yours sincerely. And then S in small letter, S in sincerely must be in small letter if you choose to use yours sincerely. Then after that is your signature. You do not sign informal letter. So when we talked about signature, it's just a name which the receiver knows you. The name that the receiver knows you to bear, or your nickname, you can put it in the informal letter. You do not sign, neither do you write your full name in informal letter.